What if there was an hourglass that didn't count time forward, but backward toward your final breath? A cursed relic bound to a soul that never truly died, just waited for the next curious soul to flip it. Tonight, that soul is you. If you love stories where time twists, shadows whisper, and witches never stay buried, subscribe to the Witching Hourglass. Tap the bell so you never miss a midnight tale, and leave a comment below. What would you do if time started running backward? Welcome back, Haunted Ones. Tonight we journey to the village of Elder Hollow, a place trapped in a mist no map dares to mark. In its woods, secrets fester, and in one old farmhouse at the edge of that village, a cursed hourglass waits to be turned. This is the story of Lena Harrow, a teenager with a skeptic's heart and curious hands. And the hourglass? It belonged to a witch they tried to burn from memory, but some fires never go out. This is the full tale of the witch's hourglass, a curse that counts backward. The move to Elder Hollow. Lena Harrow was 17 when her parents moved them to Elder Hollow. Her mother inherited the farmhouse after the mysterious death of a distant great-aunt. The Harrows were city people, unused to the kind of silence that crept in with the fog and never left. Lena, ever the skeptic, rolled her eyes at the town's eerie charm and talk of curses. Her little brother Jamie, however, was enchanted by the overgrown woods and the cawing crows. The house leaned at strange angles and groaned in the night. It smelled of dry wood and forgotten things. On the third day, while playing hide-and-seek, Jamie found the attic door behind a linen closet. Inside, thick dust and old trunks filled the space, but at the center of the attic sat an iron pedestal, and on it, an hourglass, black as midnight. It was unlike anything Lena had ever seen. The frame was wrought of twisted metal, shaped like thorned vines. The glass bulbs were obsidian dark, and the sand inside shimmered black, falling slowly. Strange runes were etched into the base, not English, not Latin, not anything Lena could recognize. "Leave it," she told Jamie, but they didn't. The dreams begin. That night, Lena had her first dream. In it, she wandered a forest where the trees whispered in voices she couldn't understand. A woman stood beneath the moon, tall, pale, dressed in black leaves, her face half-burned and eyeless. She held the hourglass upside down. "Time doesn't wait," the woman hissed. "It consumes." Lena woke up gasping. The hourglass was on her nightstand. She was sure she had left it in the attic. And the sand, it had moved. More had fallen to the bottom chamber. She tried to tell her parents. They blamed stress. Jamie said nothing, but Lena noticed he started drawing strange symbols and muttering to himself in his sleep. Then came the whispers, soft at first, always at night, always from the walls. The legend of Mother Silne. Desperate for answers, Lena visited the local library. An older librarian, Miriam, hesitated when she mentioned the hourglass. "You're not the first," Miriam said. "It belonged to Mother Silne." In the archives, Lena found records of a witch trial from 1863. Mother Silne was a healer, a midwife, and a recluse. When children began dying in Elder Hollow, the villagers turned on her. They dragged her from her cottage and burned her alive behind the very farmhouse Lena now lived in. Before the flames consumed her, she cursed the village. "For every lie a grain shall fall, for every soul a life shall stall. When the last grain drops, I will rise." The townsfolk buried the hourglass in the attic, sealing it beneath the floorboards. Over the years, it was forgotten. Until now. The sand falls faster. Jamie worsened. He no longer ate. He spoke in tongues, words not of this world. Lena found pages torn from books, drawn over with the same runes from the hourglass, and in the dark, his eyes sometimes glowed. One night she found him outside, barefoot in the rain, staring into the woods. "She's almost here," he whispered. Lena checked the hourglass. Only a few grains remained. The shadows in the house deepened. Mirrors reflected faces that weren't their own. Lights flickered without cause. Time itself felt wrong, slower, unstable. She resolved to destroy it at the confrontation. Lena returned to the attic. The hourglass stood upright, glowing faintly. As she reached for it, a cold wind slammed the door shut. The temperature plummeted. Then came the voice. "You turned it. You called me." Mother Silne stepped from the shadows, her charred face twisted, her eyeless sockets weeping sand. "Break it, and you break time. Keep it, and become mine." Lena screamed and threw the hourglass to the floor. It shattered. Sand flew into the air like smoke, forming a whirlwind. Time unraveled. Shadows screamed. Then silence. When Lena opened her eyes, Jamie was standing beside her. The attic was empty, or so she thought. The final grain. They moved away from Elder Hollow, but something followed. Jamie never fully recovered. Lena kept dreaming of forests and whispers. Years later, a couple bought the farmhouse. While renovating the attic, they found an old hourglass, perfectly intact, with black sand slowly falling. Only one grain remained, and when it falls, she returns. This was the story of the witch's hourglass, a curse that counts backward, a tale of legacy, of curiosity, and of a time that doesn't heal, but haunts. Would you flip the hourglass? Leave your answer in the comments below. And remember, not all time is yours to keep. Subscribe to the Witching Hourglass for more terrifying tales. And until next time, don't listen too closely when the sand starts to fall. Time has teeth, and it remembers.